Hey everyone, and welcome back to the Jedi Knight of the Woods channel. Paul here again. Thanks very much for stopping by. What I wanted to do for you today was just to give you an overview of the little kit that I use when I go hunting for and collecting mushrooms and fungi. Now this is a copy of a Maxpedition, I believe it's the M4 waste pack. Again, it's one of these purchases that I made from the internet, from a Hong Kong based seller. It's not something that I really sort of thought needs to stand up for to a huge beating. If I need to pick mushrooms while I'm out in the wild, in the woods, etc., then I'll probably just go for what I know. You know, sort of a 12 or 15 different varieties of mushrooms that I can identify on site without any kind of reference material at all, without any problems. This kit is really for when I go out into the local areas that I know well, and I'm specifically going out to look for mushrooms of different types, new types of mushrooms, if you like. So let's take you through what I've got in here. One flap leading to the main part of the pouch, which has got three different sections to it. The front, so I'm not going to go through the dimensions of this pouch because that's not the point. The point of this is to show you the kit that I've got. So there's a little front pocket there which just has a plastic bag, just for collecting any finds. Not the most ideal of carrying solutions for mushrooms, especially if it's a hot day, etc. But if you're only going out for a little while or whatever, and you just keep some airflow going in there, it's not too much of a problem. Then going on to the main part of the pouch, I have the reference book that I use for identification purposes, which is the Collins Gem Mushrooms book. That's a pretty small little book. Let's just give you the dimensions of that. So you're talking only what, about 11.5 centimeters long by 8 and a bit centimeters, and depth is about 2 centimeters. So those Collins Gem books you can get. That's a really handy little guide. Takes you through the different families of mushrooms. Some drawn pictures as well as some photographs, and that's something you don't usually find that often. Quite often you'll find either pictures or photographs, not a combination of both. And it's a pretty comprehensive guide, this one, guys. I've got to say, I'm really impressed with that. So as a first means of identification, this book has proved pretty useful. So that's in the main pouch. What I also keep in here is just a little pair of binoculars. These are really quite handy for looking out across the wooded areas in the distance. Quite often you'll see something that looks white or whatever, and you can pick these things without having to spend a couple of minutes walking 20-30 meters to check out some mushrooms. These are really handy little things. Let's just show you them quickly. Nothing much, not the most powerful ones in the world, but they fold out and they're focusable by 380 fully coated optics, 383 feet, 1,000 yards. So there you go. Little pair of binoculars. Put those back in the pouch. And then sitting right in the back is the knife that I use, which you would have seen on one of my other videos. And this is the Elephant's Toenail by Rough Rider. Now, mushroom collecting, it doesn't necessarily need to be the sharpest knife ever. They are quite sharp when they come out of the box, factory sharp, these Rough Riders. But as I mentioned in the other video, what I do like about this for mushroom collecting is the width and the belly on this knife is superb. It sort of acts like a little spade and enables me to hold the mushroom and lift it out of the ground for proper identification. So there you go. That's a knife that stays in there permanently as well. And on this side, in this little pouch, I found myself once or twice going out looking for mushrooms and don't darkness has set in, and you know, it's one of those things that I absolutely love it, so I don't want to turn around and go home too quick. But not just that, under the canopy of the trees you can, you know, quite often find shadows being cast, and sometimes it's a little awkward to be able to see different colours. If I'm doing a spore print, for example, there are lots of different shades, you know, whites moving into very pale yellows and pinks and browns into the black spores. And so I carry a very cheap little flashlight. This is a Rolson Tools flashlight. It's got a tactical switch on the top, on the tail cap. It's actually pretty bright, I've got to say. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 little LEDs in there. They're not going to be the best LEDs in the world, but 9 little LEDs. It's pretty bright, white light, and it enables me to sort of look around the mushroom, make sure I can really get those characteristics of the mushrooms identified, and also, you know, point upwards to get a good look at it. So keep that in a little side pouch. On the other side pouch, something very essential, some Carex hand gel with aloe vera. Kills 99.9% of bacteria. I'm going out into the woods, I'm climbing all over the ground, I'm handling potentially, you know, poisonous mushrooms, as well as who knows what else has been left on the ground by other animals, etc. So you know, hand sanitizer, guys, it's always a good thing. So yeah, keep that in the side there as well. Won't necessarily use it every 5 minutes, obviously, but you know, when I get back to the car and got mucky hands, you know, just give them a bit of a clean. Nothing wrong with cleanliness and hygiene. So then in the front, this little pouch here is where I have a little magnifying glass. Absolutely essential bit of kit for going out mushroom hunting, to look at those characteristics. More often than not, sort of characteristics of the cap or the gills, those sorts of things. So this is just a pretty simple slide out magnifying glass. It's got a pretty good magnification on that. It's made by Waltex, 3 times magnification. That's ample for getting right up and seeing the detail on those mushrooms as well. So that sits in the front pocket there, and there you go. There you have it, guys. That's my mushroom hunting kit. Any comments, please feel free to leave them. Criticisms, as long as they're constructive, great. I will be doing some videos on when I go out hunting for mushrooms. This was a piece of kit that I actually nearly forgot because there's not a great deal going on at the moment. So there you have it. I'll do some videos out in the woods hunting for mushrooms so you can see this lot in action. Thanks very much, guys, and look forward to doing another video for you soon. Just one last thing to add to the mushroom hunting kit, guys, before I sign off on that one as well, is an important point to note, that if you're going out looking for mushrooms, etc., you don't want to just rely on one source of information. So what I wanted to just tag on to the end of that last video are 2 other sources of reference that I use in order to identify those mushrooms as well. 2 books here that I obviously don't carry with me all the time. I just use that one source of reference to get a positive identification as much as I can, and then I bring the mushrooms home and I'll use these 2 books to you know, check up again and just make absolutely sure on my initial identification of those mushrooms. The one here, the River Cottage Handbook #1 on mushrooms, is written by John Wright, introduction by Hugh Fernley Whittingstall. This is the book that was given to us when we went down to Honiton Way in Cornwall to do the Mushroom Identification Day. So I spent a day out with John Wright, going round some local woodland, or woodland local to them, the River Cottage, and we had a great day out. We found about 56 odd different species of mushrooms, all positively identified, and we took them back and had a good feast at the end of the day. Absolutely fantastic day out, and I've got to just say that, you know, if you're going to go out identifying mushrooms, you've got to take the time and spend the money to go with somebody who knows what they are doing. There is no substitute for getting out there and looking at these things with your own eyes. It's a great book, and I've got to say it's very humorously written, signed by John as well. It doesn't go into every single species, but it certainly does give you the edible species and the inedible ones to keep an eye out for as well. Very humorously written. I thoroughly enjoyed reading this book and using it for reference purposes. Some great drawings on the different characteristics. I'll do a full review of this book and take you through the benefits of it. Not overly expensive at 15 quid. I think that's very good value for money. The other one is this Collins Complete Guide to British Mushrooms and Toadstools, and I'll do a review on that one as well. So just tagging on the end of that last video, guys, these are the two reference books that I use most for you know, fully identifying those mushrooms. So once again, thanks very much for joining me for this video, and see you again soon.